Well, look at you. You're a senior citizen. You should have retired decades ago. Well, don't you think that your employees are already thinking about this? Here's a thing that happens in business brokerage, talking to a bunch of business owners, often retiring business owners who've run their business for 15, 20 years, and they're looking to get out and do something different. Usually it's spend time with grandkids or travel more or just enjoy some time away from the business. They come to us and they obviously are concerned about confidentiality. And their biggest concern is, what if my managers find out? What if my employees find out? I want to sell this business. They're all going to flee if they know I'm going to sell. And confidentiality is paramount. Well, I couldn't agree more. Confidentiality is paramount. But what about this notion that your team is worried that you're going to sell the business? There's another way to look at this, and that is, what if your team knew that you were planning for the sale of your business, so that instead of fleeing because they didn't know the future, what if they did know their future? What if they were excited to hear that you were planning for the succession of your business, that you were going to bring in a new owner of the business, and that their jobs were secure because the new owner would need them the same way that they need you? This is something that we see in every deal, and we protect confidentiality. But what we love is when business owners tell us, we've had discussions for years about my retirement, and my managers love their jobs, and they, as long as the next business owner keeps things relatively the same for them, then they're not going anywhere, right? This business isn't dependent on me. They have a place here, and perhaps a new owner could bring new energy and invest even more money. I'm kind of comfortable. This has become something of a lifestyle business for me. There are moves that I made as a younger individual that I don't feel the need to invest in now. If a new owner came in and utilized this team and took our playbook and added their own playbook, it could go really far. We don't see that as much as we see the owners that have just kind of kept doing what's worked for them and came to us when it was time and said, let's sell this now. That's the more common thing. But what gets almost comical is when we talk to a 80-year-old, or I've talked to people in the early 90s, and they're like, yeah, don't let anyone know I want to sell. And it's like, well, look at you. You're a senior citizen. You're older than a senior. You should have retired decades ago. Well, don't you think that your employees are already thinking about this? Don't you think that they wish that you were talking about this? So I guess my point is, confidentiality is hugely important and paramount, and it's a big part of what we do as business intermediaries, is to protect it. But there does come a time when it's just obvious that it's time to retire, and you should be spending your time doing other things. People love to work. Their identity is tied to their work. I get that. I'm just as vulnerable to that as the next person. But there's also a bigger picture here, and there is a stage where, if you're not planning for retirement, if you're not planning for succession and for your team to have new leadership, then you're kind of doing a disservice, right? So I would encourage you to have these conversations with your team. I'm a certified exit planning advisor, and this is a part of good business. Good exit planning is good business strategy. So I just want to put that out there, because it's like I said, it can become almost comical when people are beyond the age of retirement and they're ignoring the fact that they need to retire. It's human nature, but at a certain point, it gets kind of comical. Hey, let me know your thoughts. Share it in the comments below, and let me know what else you want to hear me talk about. Thanks for watching. Till next time, bye.